Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemiri on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, no end in sight as frustrated customers are turned away at the headquarters of the National Identification Authority following their strike, which began on Monday.
Like we say nemini wan si the program me pe me Ghana card akobanga ko jiska yesi enyama na de me ya wo mu kra ne se mba ya yesi ahohofo de o mo de etimi ya mom ne ya tie ma mu de ye call ye so strike intimate ase.
Ghana Armed Forces issues warning against provoking attacks on its men with details of its statement more as their Menfi East parliamentary candidate retract his statement.
I vehemently retract the statement made and deny that I have incited these minors to attack men in uniform.
Plus, stalled hospital projects, Sewa and Afari hospitals in the Ashanti region to be ready by August. That's according to Vice President Dr. Baumia, who is on an Ashanti regional tour. We'll bring you more from this tour.
Expect Sewa to be commissioned. I think hopefully by next month, July, he tells me.
Many thanks for choosing us. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Nana Aisha. Please do stay for details. There's no end in sight as frustrated customers are turned away at the headquarters of the National Identification Authority following their strike, which began on Monday. Some of the desperate applicants who have traveled from far and near say they are unaware of the strike and urgently need the NIA cards to process their traveling documents.
Ghana card my office na makoho enem ba ha yesi cost like ntimi we say nemini wan si the program me pe me Ghana card akobanga ko jiska yesi enyama na de me ya wo mu kra ne se mba ya yesi ahohofo de o mo de etimi ya mom ne ya tie ma mu de ye call ye so strike ntimi ase Ghana card nyese ma ya so de ne ya start ya na me na wo bitimi sole anaju tu de bo koto line emi wie ye se me nkoso tuom ya kire mo office bebre me ko eso still me nya me Ghana card na yesi me mla hia na so me ba ya yesi e cost like nti na be den medidi bank wa me ko eso so me si me nkura Ghana card ya ye mfa me sika ma
e pe busa na se da be na omu be ba so so woni speech oi so da pra
ya card ne di be ya dia di ya
na pra mi ya ka be ya di ka wa mu che masa
because it's a because say the move here dia 2 point next week
me won kra ha ya ba me de ya dia ba yi ade ni hia ba
na pacho so e
so ka se
Midday no koye no nipa ko na koye e ga sa ka 1 year na me nam 70 years
so nya nru
tina ga sa I block no for the bank
bedroom about 8 days.
okay
Yeah, original one since there's some more strike. See, yeah, then I train saying come be na na ko come back come up man no more na yeah be ni be see.
Now what problem ni dey?
Midday no the date of birth the son no Ghana card. So naka almost the brass na almost some quarantine na mama. And it's na me ba see.
You say about more strikey. Well, who's on more strikey? Me need said net the umbeba. It will be quite no one side about that for another day.
Okay, and none of many security in Casa say, like, come who will be our bit to me, Abuami and a baston, I will say, be an was member at that time.
My colleague Kenneth JC, who's been monitoring this for us, has joined me in the studio. Kenneth, first, what have they been saying, the spoken G?
Well, Aisha, they've been expressing their frustration at the system. Most of them say they do not know that, they've embarked on a strike until they decided to go to their premises to get their cards. They have varying problems. Some of them need the cards to get their passports, to fasten their traveling documents, but it's not working for them. Some of them also need it for their bank transactions, because you know that now Ghana, if you don't have a Ghana card, you really cannot do anything.
So you've gone round and you've been to the headquarters of the NIA. Have you had some responses from the authority on how they're dealing with the situation? Well,
quite unfortunately, we've not had any authority speak to us, but when we got to the place was fairly quiet. There are so many seats there. I believe you've been to the place before. Ordinarily, that place would have been filled to capacity, but if you go there, there's just one person sitting under the canopy expressing their frustration. However, they did indicate to me, our sources there did indicate that if you're a foreigner and you want a Ghana card, foreigners are eligible to request for a Ghana card. If you're a foreigner and you want a Ghana card, that process has not been affected. So foreigners can actually still go and get their Ghana cards. But it is the Ghanaians who are being turned away because the personnel to man that are all on strike. So it's quite a frustrating scene. Some are traveling as early as next week. They do not know their fate now. Some even say that they are going to have to sleep there today to pray and hope that they get their cards. They resume the strike,
And when do they say they want to end the strike?
Well,
were you able to speak with some workers?
Well, off record. Yes, off record. They say they have no idea when, they are returning back to their...
So this is indefinite?
Yes. They have absolutely no idea.
Kenneth JC has been monitoring this for us. We can now go to the Ashanti region, where the administrative and operational offices of the National Identification Authority in the region have been closed as the strike enters day 2. The strike has left the usually congested NIA premises deserted, and applicants hoping for early call of the strike. Clinton Yeboah is our man monitoring this for us in Kumasi. He joins us live from the NIA premises. Clinton Yeboah, paint a picture of what this is looking like in Kumasi. Hello, Clinton.
All right. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Clinton, go ahead. Right, there seems to be a connectivity problem with Clinton Yeboah. We'll try and get Clinton Yeboah to paint a picture of how this looks in Kumasi for us. But right now, let's go to the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, which has started offering free dialysis treatments to patients under a new initiative of the National Health Insurance Authority. More than 10 persons who qualify for the service have benefited from the initiative since Friday. CEO of the NIA, Dr. Dacosta Boaje, has revealed non-subscribers of the health insurance scheme also qualify for the service, which will run for 6 months. Nanaya Ojima has more.
At the time of the visit, 2 people were undergoing dialysis at the renal unit of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Until today, each of the 2 persons would have paid at least 595 cedis for the session, which is done at least twice a week. But with the new policy implementation, the session is free for persons below 18 and those above 60 years, as well as subsidized for those captured between 19 and 59 years. Deputy Medical Director at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Dr. Yao Oparilabi, says challenges in the delayed implementation have been resolved.
Right after our meeting on Friday, the team went to work and we started rolling it out. And we started using the forms that were provided by the NHIA. So, as has been mentioned, all those who from the 1st of June paid money to come for dialysis will be reimbursed once the information is all put together and sent to the NHIA. Yeah, so reconciliation will be done and they will get their money back. And as you've seen, patients are already on the machines receiving their dialysis.
The dialysis process takes about 4 hours per session. With the expansion of the renal unit from 2 to 7 dialysis machines, the hospital put at least 14 patients on dialysis. With the free and subsidized services, the management of Komfo Teaching Hospital is anticipating a surge in the number. Nonetheless, Dr. Da Costa Abuaje has assured of financing for the policy.
From National Health Insurance Authority, we have the money available, so we will reimburse them once the claims are submitted to us. This is a special project, it's dear to government, but what I will put out is that government do have a comprehensive plan, not only for kidney diseases, but for chronic diseases. I'm very sure that very soon it will be unveiled as part of the overall government agenda. One of them is what obviously Prof was requesting, that how can we support these dialysis patients in such a way that we provide machines for NHIS. Access is part of our core mandate.
Before the implementation of the new initiative, the NHIA was funding acute kidney injury. Though the new policy has expanded the reach of the intervention, there are calls for more to be done. Dr. Pedita Ochre is head of the renal unit.
Then the acute kidney injury, that one, so you have to reach acute kidney failure. That one, you need dialysis. And that one was previously on the health insurance. So that one has been dealt with. So what this policy seeks is to look at the chronic people, those who are on the long-term chronic kidney dialysis. So that is what the package is addressing now. But like Oliver Trace, I'm an advocate for patients. We are asking that the government has done so well. That one, we give a clap to the government and his team, but we are asking that he should do something more.
For JoyNews, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Let's stay with health because Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has assured the operationalization of the long-awaited Sewa Government Hospital and the Afari Military Hospital in the Ashanti region by August 2024. This much-needed expansion in healthcare infrastructure in the region is expected to reduce pressure at the Komfo Teaching Hospital and improve overall accessibility to quality medical services. During his engagement with professional bodies in Kumasi, Dr. Bawumia underscored the significance of these new healthcare facilities when commissioned by August. First, let's take a listen to the chairman of the Ghana Medical Association in the Ashanti region, Dr. Pakwisi Sibedu, expressing worry at the congestion at the Komfo Teaching Hospital and the stalled hospital project.
For the first time, thank you to our CEO. Usually what they did was to hide the mess at the emergency because of overcrowding. And the reason being that almost Komfo takes care of so many of the regions, 6, 7, 8 regions in the country, 12 regions in the country. And I'm sure they saw and they will collaborate what we saw, and I'm sure some of them felt so nauseating. Some threw up, and they will confess to you. And that is the environment as health workers we find ourselves. We talk of Agenda 111, and my former chief executive is here. We've had our debates, Dr. Nsiasari. Of all the Agenda 111 you are building in the 12 region, Komfo still will serve as the referral center to them. The people who will be voting for you are not just those here. They are the patients who are sitting in chairs for 2 days. We have 2 hospitals that are complete or almost complete, and they have facilities which Komfo, which is the major referrals facility, doesn't have. The military hospital at Afari and the Sewa hospital. They have facilities. Mr. Vice President, if you've not been there, I will urge you to pass by these facilities. We've dressed this equipment beautifully. So, you, as the Vice President, still has the power to make sure that these facilities are commissioned to serve the purpose for which they were built. And that is the message of the Ghana Medical Association.
But Vice President Dr. Baumia says the two major sort hospital projects in the Ashanti region are expected to be commissioned by August.
Really, the overcrowding we see Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, and which is really under pressure, being a referral hospital for 12 regions, and has made some suggestions which we should take very seriously, dedicating resources for retooling the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. I am in agreement with that. I think that if we want a Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital to perform, it cannot perform without those resources. And I think that you've made particular reference to two hospitals that are almost done. Sewia, which is a regional hospital, and Afari Hospital, which is a military hospital. I think that we expect Sewia to be commissioned. I think hopefully by next month, July, he tells me. So if all goes well, Dr. Insiasari is assuring me that we can commission July in Sewia, and by August commission Afari as well. So I think those two hospitals are very, very important for us to commission. They are excellent hospitals, have the space, and they could really take off the burden from Komfo-Anokye. So I think that we are going to follow these two hospitals, as I said, to really reduce the burden, because they are very, very large ones.
The Ghana Armed Forces states has taken note of a viral video on social media calling for attacks on soldiers and other security personnel. It has strongly cautioned the public against such utterances, as well as condemn any form of incitement or encouragement of violence against their soldiers. I'll be sharing excerpts of the statement shortly, but first, listen to the viral video in which the NPP parliamentary candidate of Amenfi East is seen inciting the miners against uniformed men.
Definitely. If I am taken out of context, definitely. I have
Patrol now, soldiers need security services here. What woman? Am I wrong business? It is a while from now 5 million, 3 million, 10 million. Now the regional price of 1 of the man. Sadly, because the police for these soldiers who are around them at the office, at cases are more man, you know, who you have left from and in Zinaria or be back patrol, as I said, when they are so while for money, the wild person of the mama, or go in Mama. But so people said, or you saw your indicating too much but too control my own and track ideas or more oh yes, so my patrol or my patrol and the Akase authority or the age you must mature, your Jeffrey said, you don't know where you got a moment or also young guy, do the thing. I said, but you're looking at me, and I'm going to Ghana for. And Bravo, we are mobile, so here you make it. Or no, I want to move on with a bomb. So, Moon is hard as seen as we can.
Listen to the NPP Amenfi East parliamentary candidate retracting the statement but denying he has incited minors against uniformed men.
Definitely. If I am taken out of context, definitely. I have consulted my people, and the statement that is required to come out is being ready and available to come out tomorrow. So officially, this statement has been taken out of context. The intention of the statement has been misconstrued by people who do not really understand it. But I believe that my engagement with these minors, I engage people who understand my language, and at all times, they know that I do not incite them.
Yeah, but I'm just asking a simple question. Are you apologizing now or not?
I vehemently retract the statement made and deny that I have incited these minors to attack men in uniform. The men in uniform are our people. And we are
Well, excerpts of the statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Armed Forces reads, it is instructive to note that such calls are not only unlawful, but also pose a significant threat to the security and stability of our nation. We therefore condemn any form of incitement or encouragement of violence against our soldiers. It is also crucial to understand that personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces and sister security agencies are committed to upholding the highest standards of professionalism, discipline, and respect for human rights in the execution of their duties. In a situation where a soldier misconducts himself or herself, the soldier should be reported to the nearest police station or military barracks for the appropriate disciplinary action to be taken. It is important to note soldiers, like any individuals, have the right to self-defense when faced with imminent threats or attacks that pose a danger to their lives or the lives of others. In situations where soldiers are confronted with immediate threats or acts of violence, they are allowed to use necessary and proportionate force to protect themselves and others. It implores all citizens to respect, cooperate, and support our soldiers and to refrain from engaging in acts of violence or incitement against them. Well, I've been joined by a security analyst at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center, Dr. Victor Doke. I'm grateful for your time, sir. The regional minister, who is head of RECSEG, hasn't come out to condemn this incident. The parliamentary candidate himself, you heard him in that audio, retracted but still denies he's inciting the minors against uniformed men. What's your reading of the situation?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, though?
Loud and clear, Doc.
Thank you. And then good day to all the viewers. Now, first of all, this is a very worrying video. And I personally do not subscribe to a PC who wants to take up a high position, seen on video, trying to incite violence against the men in uniform. It's against the law. And I expect that by now, if he has not been invited for questioning, then he should. Why am I saying so? Aside it being against the law, let's look at the security implications that anyone close to government or a PC for that matter has the authority to come out clearly and incite not just ordinary people, but the men in uniform. Then you are equally telling them that the men in uniform can be battled with. And we will know the consequences if that should happen. But my take is, why has a PC not been invited yet? This prepares the grounds for other people who have intentions, right, to perpetrate evil, to also come out or encourage people to act criminally. We cannot have this, especially when we have an election calendar drawing nearer. So I expect that the PC should be invited for questioning, so that it sends a message to all those close to government, those aspiring to be leaders, that you cannot take the law into your own hands. Yes, he has retracted, but let's allow the law to take its course. Let's not create the atmosphere that when I am close to government, then it means I can make statements and go scot-free. Or when someone is in the opposition or belongs to any other opposition, then he will be called for questioning. That is not justice. That creates an atmosphere for antagonism, and then it heightens the tensions, and then it tells us that the security agencies or justice providers are skewed to favor one side of actors, which is not good. For now, this is what I have to say.
I'm grateful for your time, Dr. Victor Doke. He's a lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center. Let's go to Parliament now, because it has announced that it is ready to pass a free senior high school bill to make implementation of the free SHS policy binding on successive governments. The Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, announced at a press briefing ahead of Parliament's resumption from break today that a finalized bill is ready for presentation by the Education Minister, Dr. Yaosei Duchum. According to him, the move is to prevent the attempt by any government to abort the policy. Listen. Well, my colleague James Aveji is our man in Parliament. He joins us with more from Parliament. James Aveji, has that bill been laid yet?
Aisha, the bill has not been laid yet. What we know is that by close of this week, the Education Minister, Dr. Yaosei Duchum, is expected to bring that document to Parliament and present it before the Education Committee. Now, after presentation to the Education Committee, the committee will now sit down to look into the bill and work on it, prepare it for laying on the floor of the House. But before that, too, they would have to meet groups, interest groups, including civil society organizations and other groups that may have interest in this bill, like we have seen in other bills, including the anti-LGBTQ+ bill, where Parliament has been engaging with groups of concern. So it would have to go through all of these processes before it is finally read on the floor of Parliament and allowed to mature after the constitutionally mandated number of days. So the indication is that by close of week, the Education Minister should present that policy document to the Education Committee.
Today, Parliament has resumed. What should we expect, Aveji?
So quite a number of bills would be looked at before Parliament rise again. Amongst that is the affirmative action bill, which has been in Parliament for quite a number of time. The Majority Leader did indicate that work has progressed somewhat on the bill, and so they are hopeful that they will see to a final conclusion of that. Other bills also include the environmental protection law. There will be some level of amendment to it, considering the level of devastation we are having in our forest and others, including the IOCO, a bill to regularize the work of IOCO. We know that some persons have expressed some concerns over the operations of the entity, and so the indication is that a bill is coming to Parliament to regularize their work moving forward. Those and other bills amounting to about 10 bills will be considered within the life of this session before they finally rise. Aisha, the House is set to begin meeting at 1 p.m. this afternoon.
Right. James Aveji with that report from Parliament. We'll be bringing you more from Parliament in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the Africa Education Watch and the Institute for Education Studies, IFES, says that the Ghana Education Trust Fund is committing an illegality. The CSOs in education have made a strong call to the Minister of Education to instruct the Ghana Education Trust Fund to cease the ongoing foreign scholarship application process. The two CSOs in education say they have cited an advertisement by the GET Fund calling for applications for foreign master's scholarships. According to the CSOs, this violates Section 2, subsection 2B of the GET Fund Act 2000, Act 581. The CSOs also want Parliament to injunct GET Fund from spending on foreign scholarships, not just because it is unapproved by Parliament, but also because it amounts to wasteful spending of taxpayers' money. And I've been joined by one of the CSOs that issued the statement. Executive Director of the Institute of Educational Studies, IFES, Dr. Peter Pate-Ante. Grateful for your time. First, let's look at what Section 2, subsection 2B of the Get Fund Act provides in making the Get Funds posture an illegality. Dr. Ante? Hello, Dr. Ante. Kindly unmute for me. Do we have Dr. Ante on? Right, so we'll try and get Dr. Ante to engage him on this. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more. Welcome, let's do business with me, Emma Davis. Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana, CBOD, is in talks with partners to acquire more lands to engage in green initiatives that will support the country's carbon credit. This is part of moves by the Chamber to promote climate-focused activities aimed at reducing the effect of climate change in Ghana. Chief Executive of CBOD Ghana, Dr. Patrick Ufori, disclosed this to journalists after leading members of the chamber to plant about 1,000 trees at Agomeda, Chippa Forest, as part of the Green Ghana Day. Here's a report.
The Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors joined Ghanaians to plant trees to protect the environment and reduce the effect of climate change. This is in line with the Green Ghana policy by government to ensure that many individuals and corporate bodies embark on green initiatives. According to the Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana, Dr. Patrick Ufori, discussions are underway to ensure that importers of fuel into the country adhere to certain carbon print standards.
We're currently also in discussions with Labra University on their initiative of promoting and advocating for cleaner energy initiative that they are doing in sub-Saharan African and a couple of other African countries that recently when they were in country, we've had the initial discussions to ensure that we can partner them to push that agenda forward. We're also discussing with other partners, especially BP, on our quest to also enhance on their carbon credit in also to acquire more hectares of land to plant trees that we can use to offset and gain some form of carbon credit for it.
Some of the members who engaged in the exercise at the Agomeda Forest has also been sharing their thoughts with journalists.
This is the first of its kind that I'm having to join, and I'm really excited about it. I think that there's been a lot of talks and education about greening Ghana, and considering the industry that we are in, I think that it's a good thing that we are attempting to do.
We have participated in this wonderful exercise. I believe everybody should be part of it, including seniors, juniors and mid-level management, because it's for the common community and it brings the benefit to entire the country, not to the specific part of the country. Secondly, what I see, Ghana is one of the affected climate countries, which has a seriously challenges in coming days and right now. So it's really a worthy exercise to carry on frequently basis.
Is something that each and every one of us as Ghanaians should actually participate in. We should take this serious. Planting trees is hard work, and yes, it contributes to our climate. You can see the way the rains have been falling nowadays. In fact, yes, I'm not a geography student, but what I'll say is you can tell that the rains have been intensive as much as the heat. Ghana is so hot, and this is a sign that we are actually experiencing some form of climate change. So for me, this is good. This is a great initiative the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors has embarked on with the Forestry Commission.
The Chamber has therefore acquired an area for the Forestry Commission to plant some trees to conserve the environment.
Businesses have been urged to invest in data gathering. Chief Executive Officer of Global Innovations, Gideon Raji, says this will help deepen engagement with consumers to expand operations. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2024 National Fast-Moving Consumer Goods Summit.
The National Fast-Moving Consumer Goods Summit is an annual event that serves as an avenue to facilitate the exchange of ideas between thoughtful, eminent leaders in the Ghanaian and global FMCG industry. Event Director Gideon Raji said, the FMCG sector requires competitive advantage in areas such as quality production.
I think data is everything because again, you need to understand the consumer. The consumer, as Fatima would say, is a dictator. They dictate what products they want to buy, how they want it to be sold to, how the product benefits them. So basically, consumers, you can't predict them. So you need to, embark on a lot of data, a lot of research, conduct a lot of survey to make sure that you understand your consumers. Once you understand your consumers, you meet their demands. And so the FMCG is all about meeting consumer demands, being there for the consumers, doing things so that the consumer will benefit in terms of pricing and all that. It boils down to raw materials. Most consumers are using raw materials, and it's expensive because, yes, have you realized that anytime the dollar is high and all that products, there's like a strict inflation on product. So again, unlike other countries where you go to the mall and then the price is actually printed on the product.
That'll be all for business. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emma Davis. Up next is sports. Please stay.
Let's do sports now on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. The Black Stars are currently at the top of Group I with 9 points following the 4-3 win against Central African Republic last night. However, head coach Otuado expressed dissatisfaction with the defensive performance of the players and hopes to improve upon that in subsequent matches.
We're happy that we won. We got the 3 points. We had problems in the first half, controlling the game, or not even controlling the game, but finding solutions up front. I will take it on me because the way I was thinking in the first half, the way we should play, maybe it was a little bit too complicated, and we had just a few days to train this. We adjusted in the second half with the build-up, with Sally's dropping, and then to build up with 3 and to have our wingers inside and our fullbacks outside to make crosses, and our wingers inside, so we changed the side of Fatau and Kamadin so that when they get inside they can have some shots, and then I think this really worked. In the second half we had a lot of shots on the goal, a lot of good positioning, also defensively much better than in the first half, and I think then at the end we deserved to win. Still, I think, like I said before, this Central African Republic have a very good team, very good on counters. We didn't protect it our half well when we lost the ball.
Now, having defeated Mali and the Central African Republic within the span of 4 days, the Black Stars have now won back-to-back matches for the first time in 9 months. Now, Ghana FA President Keto Kroku expressed gratitude to the players for their output.
I guess the sound from outside these premises tells all of us the enormity and the importance of this victory to Ghanaians. You guys have fought a good fight. You gave it your all, and you touched the hearts and homes and souls of 30 million plus Ghanaians today. We don't have too much to say, but to say how grateful we are for the fight. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for this victory. It is a very good one. Let's take the positives, all the positives that will come out of this game. Salis, be careful. Why are you intimidating me? All right, so just to say thank you. Thank you, Akpe. Thank you.
And that's it for sports. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Up next is World News.
Good afternoon. You're welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansuma Yabwa. Now, another major milestone in the music world as Ghana's own Guilty Beat collaborates with Nigerian musician Thames, producing 14 out of 18 songs on a new album, Born in the Wild. Now, this partnership showcases the immense talent coming out of Ghana and highlights the rising influence of African music globally.
Guilty Beat, known for his unique sound and innovative production techniques, has once again proven why he is a force to be reckoned with. This collaboration with Thames marks a significant achievement not just for him, but for the entire Ghanaian music industry. But this is not the first time Guilty Beat has collaborated with Thames on a project.
This is how I made Crazy Things by Thames. For the 3 versions, and you know the third one, so this is how I started it. This is version 2.
You don't even know the kind of things. All you try to tell me all this thing.
I was thinking, what is going through my head?
Born in the Wild by Thames is a highly anticipated album that has already garnered international acclaim. With Guilty Beat's creative influence on majority of the tracks, the album offers a fresh and captivating sound that resonates with audiences worldwide. The impact of Guilty Beat's success extends beyond personal achievement. It's a significant win for Ghana, highlighting the exceptional talent that the country's music industry has to offer. As African music continues to captivate the world, Guilty Beat's work on Born in the Wild set a new benchmark for excellence. His journey from Ghana to the global stage is a story of perseverance, talent, and the power of collaboration. For Joy News, I am Jacqueline Ansama Yabwa.
I was feeling the beat so much, I started like drumming on my stomach. I took my phone, I started recording.
Well, on that bad boss note, it's a wrap for the Showbiz segment. Well, over to you, Aisha.
But I'm so interested in Guilty Beats,
Yeah.
producing a Nigerian artist.
Yeah, he's actually
14 out of 18
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and when he did it with Beyonce, he's done it with Wizkid and other big people out there.
I mean, it just cements the ability of Ghanaians to collaborate with other nationals.
Yeah.
But I think Ghanaians must also like tap into his talent and make more beautiful music. Thank you so much for bringing us Showbiz. That'll be it for the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 2.